Well, the logjam in Parliament continues, with political parties blaming each other and wasting the hard-earned money of taxpayers. Today, it was the uproar by the Treasury bench on alleged Sonia Gandhi George Soros Congress link, leading to an absolute uproar, protest in Parliament, opposition up in arms, even reaching the dais of the Speaker. The winter session is almost nearing a washout. Tomorrow, though, may be a clincher. We'll have to wait and watch about that as well. However, amid all the political tempers flying high, Congress took a dig at Prime Minister Modi. Congress leader Pawan Khera posted on X. We said, Manipur, he thought Kareena Kapoor. Pawan Khera later deleted the post amid backlash, essentially making references to Kapoor family meeting Prime Minister Modi to invite him to the Raj Kapoor festival, which marks 100 years of the legendary actor and filmmaker's legacy. Several members of the Kapoor family were seen interacting and posing with Prime Minister Modi. But there are other Congress leaders who have said quite on the similar lines that they don't really have a problem with the meeting, alleging that this seems to be just about a deviation which is becoming our norm. The jibe?
Meets any celebrity for that matter, I don't have any personal problem. But the problem is he meets only such people. When Manipur was burning, he never went there. There are so many farmers died, he never went there. It's a way of his life, Last 11 years, if you see his tweets, or if you see number of people he has met them, he's only people who are popular. So apart from trying to meet such people, drive out, get more of popularity for him, trying to get in good books of such people, only what he's trying to do. So this is how it is. Anyway, we have to suffer through. This is how it is going to be now.
The jibe came days after Gaurav Gogoi claimed the opposition is not being allowed to raise the issue in Parliament. There should be a debate on Manipur in Parliament. Is it a crime to ask questions on Manipur? The BJP, the NDA leaders have in turn slammed the Congress, accusing them of misleading the public and having no relevant points to target the Prime Minister. But what does this all really mean? I'm going to be joined by my panelists. We'll introduce them. For now, I'm being only joined by Pradeep Mawar. Pradeep, very good evening, Mr. Mawar. How do you respond to what the Congress has claimed?
Look, first of all, I'm not able to understand where they have problem. Either they have problem with the Raj Kapoor centenary, or they have problem with Manipur. Means how are these two places or two things connected, right? So if Prime Minister is going for an event, which is the Kapoor's family, and Kapoor's family, has been contributing to a lot many things, and because of them, there is establishment of India-Russia relationship. So that is why Prime Minister went. How is it related to this Manipur issue? I am not able to understand, because whatever needs to be done in Manipur is being done. On the other hand, let me complete. On the other hand,
every single time there is an issue that needs to be discussed, there's something else that's happening on the sidelines that keeps the Prime Minister busy. That's what the Congress is alleging.
Not sideline. Understand one thing. Everybody knows that these kind of destabilizing things are being done by deep state. They are involved into it, and Congress party is taking money from the deep state agencies like George Soros. Everybody knows that. It's open in the air now. And that same party, and then same political parties alleging about Manipur and connecting it to Raj Kapoor. What is this? Is it some kind of humor? Is it some kind of a mockery? Is it some kind of a, they are trying to communicate something that has been told to them by the deep state people, or what? I certainly feel here that this is the
Advocate Mahima Singh joins us right now. Let me just straight take this question to her. Pradeep Mawar, let me just take this to her itself. Advocate Mahima Singh joins us. Advocate Mahima, please come in. So when we are asking the BJP that Congress or the opposition is accusing them of deviationary tactics, the BJP is saying this is far from deviationary and there is no connect between Kapoors. Is this humor or dark humor?
Jai Hind. Sneha, in fact, dark humor is what Mr. Modi has played on the state of Manipur for the last 18 months. A state in our beloved country of India is burning for the last 18 months. A BJP minister's house was burned down. Various BJP MLAs are knocking on the doors of the Prime Minister in vain and have not been able to secure an appointment, even for a minute, have not been heard. You see, there are protests happening in the state of Manipur. Just yesterday, when this whole program was being conducted by the Chief Minister of the state, who is expecting the citizens of his state, the citizens of this country, to wait patiently because a stable solution will take some time. How much time is what we are questioning. Because you see, when Kapoors go to see Mr. Modi, it's all good, Sneha. But Mr. Modi, who finds time to check on people dying in Russia, in Ukraine, elsewhere in the world, doesn't find time, a minute to spend to tweet or to speak with people in Manipur, to visit Manipur. What has kept him from visiting Manipur? Honorable LOP Sri Rahul Gandhi has visited Manipur. Everybody else has been visited Manipur. Why is the Prime Minister, exhibiting so much apathy? Is this kind of apathy what is expected of the Prime Minister of a democracy of our size? And then the BJP spokesperson is rather
Advocate Mahima,
mocking at the plight of the people of Manipur.
Advocate Mahima, so here's the question that the BJP is asking. Here's the question even those who may not be political are asking. Was it fair to drag the Kapoors into this? At the end of the day, it is the centenary celebrations of Raj Kapoor, somebody who India loves, somebody who the world loves and not just India loves. So if you do want to make a point, why get the Kapoors into this?
You see, when Mr. Pawan Khera tweeted and said that we were talking about Manipur, but he must have heard Kareena Kapoor, is of course very befitting. You know, I was hearing one of the senior most members of the Kapoor family, Babita ji, when she said our Prime
It's
Minister
befitting
has
is
put
what you're
our
saying.
country,
Okay.
our, sorry? You
Did
said
you say
something,
it's
Sneha?
befitting? Did you say it was befitting, that post was befitting? Is that what you said?
I said that the post is befitting very much, and I am also bringing in Babita ji's remarks into this conversation when she says that this Prime Minister of our country has brought the Indian country, the country of India, on the world map. I mean, that's quite appalling, actually, because when Raj Kapoor ji was a superstar in India and was celebrated all across the globe, we were very much on the globe. We made our mark globally very much. And now it is interesting to watch not only that the Prime Minister has shown this kind of apathy, but the Bollywood celebrities who are talking tall otherwise find no time to empathize with the people of their own country. Not even one life should go in vain. And here are thousands, 60,000 that have been displaced, thousands and thousands who have died. I remember one minister of the BJP itself was admitted to a Delhi hospital last year in Safdarjung, but the Prime Minister, who was just kilometers away from that place and would have taken with his VIP movement, would have taken just 2-3 minutes to reach that hospital, found no time not even to go and meet that minister,
Okay.
but to even check on his condition. So this is the kind of apathy the Prime Minister and the BJP is showing towards the state of Manipur. And yes, we will say it again, that we said Manipur and not Kareena Kapoor. The Prime Minister must hear it is high time.
Okay, Advocate Mahima Singh, you know, I interrupted you in between and asked you, did you say befitting? And I asked you that again because I just wanted to ensure that I heard it correctly, because Pawan Khera seemed to have deleted that post, but you are saying you're sticking to it. I do have a question, and I'll come to you after getting a response because I've come to you 2 consecutive times. JVC, how do you look at this?
Good evening. I think, Congress should ask themselves a question. Are they right in doing what they're doing? Number one. Number two, Congress party do not have any right. None of their spokespersons have any right to question anything, because during their rule, the entire Northeast was burning. Manipur, Meghalaya, in Parliament, Prime Minister of the country had mentioned about what kind of actions the Congress government had taken when Meghalaya was burning. When Northeast were burning, their own Prime Minister, former Rajiv Gandhi, was holidaying in Lakshadweep. When Indian soldiers were getting brutally killed in Sri Lanka, what were they doing? Yes, Manipur is a problem, but it's a complex issue. An issue where infiltrators were involved, an issue where the deep state and the Soros is linked, and they're directly linked to Sonia Gandhi. What is the answer that the Congress party had to give? As a common man, I'm asking that between the deep state, between Soros and Sonia Gandhi, the nexus has been clearly established by several MPs in the floor of the House. Does the Congress party have
But
an
JVC
answer to it? They have the audacity to question.
But
Manipur
JVC,
is
this
a
is
problem,
exactly what
accepted.
Congress
It's
is
not going to be
saying,
a
because
solution
it is a
decided
complex
overnight.
issue. That is
And-
what Gaurav
and-
Gogoi said in the
and the drug
parliament. That is what
infiltrators were
Congress is
involved.
saying. You may disagree with the language that they use, and you have all the right to disagree. But this is exactly what the opposition is demanding, that address the issue again in the parliament.
See, there are complexities involved
Because
in
it is
and the
complex.
Home Minister had even cancelled his campaign meetings in Maharashtra last month and rushed, and there are issues to be addressed. I do understand that this can be discussed in the parliament, there is no issue, but to link it with Raj Kapoor family, and more importantly, if anybody in this country celebrates Sri Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister of this country, appreciates, Congress cannot bear that. They have this hateful, revengeful jealousy against one man called Narendra Modi. And this is not today. Right from 2007, when Sonia Gandhi called him merchant of death, till today, they have not. See, Congress party needs to come to terms that this country is being ruled by Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi. And it is no more ruled by the Congress party. Let them understand that first and foremost.
Smita Gupta is waiting, but I need to go to Mahima again. Advocate Mahima, you can respond to JVC. And I also want to add a question to what JV Singh, when you were responding earlier, you said about how appalled you were with how one of the Kapoor family members spoke about praising the Prime Minister, saying that how they were completely insensitive to what was happening in Manipur. Isn't that really generalizing, Mahima? Because at the end of the day, we're meeting Prime Minister for whatever reasons. It was a centenary celebrations of Raj Kapoor, so on and so forth. You may have a political view. They may have a different view. Would you put the two together and say that they're completely, they have a complete apathy to what's happening? I mean, it's equating two very, very distinct, very, very different issues.
Firstly, I want to ask, who is the person who spoke before me? What is his capacity? And why is he speaking louder than the BJP spokesperson in terms of supporting the BJP and opposing the Manipur? I did not speak in between, Sneha. I would appreciate some discipline on your show. This is a national show.
Yes, please go ahead. Please go ahead, Advocate Mahima. Please go ahead.
So I
go ahead, please, Advocate Mahima. Go ahead.
I question that capacity of the person who spoke before me. Is he a BJP spokesperson? Is he a BJP supporter? And if not, then what is the capacity that he is speaking in the way he is speaking? I have made myself amply clear that this country is facing dire issues, and the Prime Minister goes on ignoring them. I think the Prime Minister has made it his ego issue. I think it is an ego issue for the Prime Minister not to visit Manipur. The more we say he should visit Manipur, the more he looks away, as if Manipur belongs to some other country. Manipur is situated in La La Land. It is very much a part of India. It is our brother and sister Indians that are dying. It is a matter of dire concern that people in refugee camps are being treated with utter disregard, and there's sheer disdain in those refugee camps. Sneha, our leader of opposition has visited these camps. Our other leaders have visited these camps several times. Our people are continuously going there. Congress is continuously present across these camps. But the situation demands the Prime Minister's attention. We demand our Prime Minister to say to our brothers and sisters from Manipur that, yes, I am there for you. I relate to your pain and I take the necessary steps.
Okay, Advocate Mahima, I've given you the time to respond. And people who would be hearing you have heard. But before I go to the other panelist, Smita Gupta, has been very patiently waiting. Very quickly, Mahima, I'll give you 30 more seconds. Again, to just reiterate the questions I said. To whatever you have said, we don't take it away. But was it fair to drag the Kapoors in is the question.
So I question that capacity of the person who spoke before me. Is he a BJP spokesperson? Is he a BJP supporter? And if not, then what is the capacity that he is speaking in the way he is speaking?
Manipur is a problem. Either they have problem with the Manipur government,
Sneha, whenever the prime minister will come and try to exhibit it as if everything in this country is hunky dory and will be in a celebratory mode, we will remind him, we will remind this country that a part of this country continues to burn, as Sarveshwar Dayal Saxena ji befittingly asks कि अगर आपके घर के एक कमरे में आग लगी हो तो क्या आप दूसरे कमरे में पूजा कर सकते हैं? हम तो नहीं कर सकते. Maybe the प्रधानमंत्री,
Okay.
the prime minister
All
of this
right.
country thinks differently.
Okay. Smita Gupta, if I can get you in. Smita Gupta, and I know the BJP, Pradeep Mahor does want to respond, but allow me some time because Smita Gupta has been waiting. Smita Gupta, I just want to shift focus a little bit. A lot of rhetoric has been happening in the parliament. A lot of political back and forth has been happening. A lot of protests have been happening. Literally the center stage of all of that is the taxpayers' money is again being wasted. Could you put this in perspective? How should the ordinary people who have voted these MPs across political lines to power, including the government and the opposition, how do they make sense of what's happening in the parliament, including the rhetorics?
Well, to answer that question, as somebody who covered Parliament for, more than 3 decades, what I can tell you is that it is a task of the government of the day, whichever that government may be, BJP, Congress, coalition government, is to run the Parliament. And it is a task of the opposition. The opposition is sent there to raise questions, to discuss issues that the government is not raising. Now, it is not that I think that Parliament should, end in chaos all the time. It is very unfortunate. Money is wasted. But that is the nature of Parliament. Now, if we look at the present government, let us look back at the Manmohan Singh years. I remember that Mr. Arun Jaitley, who was one of the senior most ministers, and very respected minister in the BJP government, when the BJP used to bring the Parliament to a standstill, he said that it was a legitimate use of parliamentary time. So I don't understand if that was a legitimate use of parliamentary time. If today the Congress or the other opposition parties are raising questions, why doesn't the government allow? Why doesn't the government allow discussions on these other issues? Why doesn't it answer? It is because it is precisely why I will connect it to why the Prime Minister doesn't go to Manipur. It's not an ego problem. He does not wish to be associated with any form of bad news. If there had been a celebration in Manipur, he would have been the first man to have been there on the stage. If you look at it, every time there has been some disaster in the country, some rape, some natural disaster, he does not associate himself with it because he believes, his spin doctors have told him, don't be associated with bad news. If there is good news, if there are film stars, if there's an election victory, go and be associated with it. But this is while this very good public relations, this is just the wrong thing for a prime minister, a leader of the country. Leader of the country must address all the problems. So while one might, not support Mr. Pavan Khera, made his statement. I'm not getting into that. But the fact is that the Manipur issue has been burning. And we know that people who have studied Manipur closely, 1 minute, just know that people within so closely associated with this government are associated with the problems in Manipur. It's not all this rubbish about deep state and so on. It is something much more immediate, something that I don't wish to state, but which I'm sure the people who are listening know exactly what I mean.
Okay, very quickly, I'm running short of time. I have to take a break. But Pradeep Mahor, please very quickly respond. You've had Miss Smita, senior journalist, who's gone on record to say that this is bad optics. This may be good PR, but bad PR. You have the opposition that is raising very, very similar slogans. Pradeep Mahor, how do you respond to this?
A lot of respect for all the journalists, but we need to understand one thing, that the Prime Minister is there to make the policies. He visiting and going there and directly handling the things The Home Minister is there to take care of the internal matters as far as the law and order is concerned. So he is regularly visiting Manipur, and I don't know how the people are taking it in a different manner. So let's understand the things very clearly here, that the Prime Minister, as far as the Prime Minister is concerned, he is there. He was there in the Parliament. He was discussing the same thing. And what happened? The opposition ran out of Parliament without listening to Prime Minister's comments. I mean, they could have discussed if there is some issue that needs to be discussed, that needs to be, understood, that needs to be taken care. This is how seriously the opposition is taking this issue as. So I have real concerns with the opposition. If they are actually taking it seriously, they should have been sitting in the Parliament and discussing it. Even now, what I see is whenever this issue is being discussed, they try to disrupt the working of the Parliament. Is this the way that issues are going to be resolved? Disrupting the Parliament?
Okay.
No. Ultimately, if you want to actually resolve it, if you just want to go gaga and create a news, that's very much possible.
All right.
But if you really want to resolve it, sit in the Parliament and do something.
I'm sorry.
Do something.
I'm sorry. I'll have to cut short this discussion.
10
I'm being
seconds
told
around
to
your
get
piece,
out,
Sneha.
and we have to move on to something else. Mahima, I'm really sorry. We are totally out of time. I have to dip into something else. Pradeep Mahor, Advocate Mahima, as well as Smita Gupta and JVC Sreeram, thank you very much for joining us. A very important and sensitive issue.